All right. Peace to you and yours wherever you may be. I love you. I continually for free. And man, this Russia-Ukraine thing is really drawing some strange highlights on social issues and perceptions of people and their humanity and their inhumanity and their sanity and insanity. It is really something going on right here. Let's see if I can do a little damage to it. Well, first and foremost, the observation that I would like to talk about is the fact that when Gaddafi got his training day call, and Saddam Hussein got his training day call, and Hugo Chavez got his training day call, and who else? The when Mushri got his training day call, you know, when the Arab Spring was popping off, when they tried to do a training day call on Ethiopia here recently, and it didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to. You know, nobody cared. Nobody cared. The whole world wasn't up in arms about what the people were really losing. You know, Putin tried to put out there that the people in Zelensky and his government are Nazis. And I want to go out and say, I don't know if they are or aren't. I don't think they are, based upon the things that I've seen Zelensky say, but I have a very small sampling when it comes to Zelensky's politics. You know, I really haven't heard him say that much. But I didn't hear anything that was, you know, the type of rhetoric that you would hear from Nazis, you know. But here the thing is, Putin is playing a training day card on Ukraine. And where Ukraine messed up way back when is when they gave up their nuclear weapons. See, that's what opened them up to this situation here today. If they had nuclear armament, they wouldn't be being invaded right now. Never would have got this far. Likewise, if the United States had not left Afghanistan, they would not be getting invaded right now. If the United States would have had a different hand when it came to Afghanistan, this situation would not be happening. But when we see the way the Ukrainian people seem surprised, and the Russian people seem surprised, and they say things like, the Russians say things like, we don't know who to shoot. Everybody looks like us. That means they had been training to always shoot somebody that looks different than them. It never occurred to them that they would be shooting other white people, and certainly not people from a similar gene pool. You know, they never expected that. And so you look at the African brothers and sisters who can't get on the trains, can't cross the border because they are unwanted in Poland. You know, can't get on a train in Ukraine and travel because it's Ukrainians first and Africans last. or maybe never. And then we see people around Europe and stuff saying, you know, when we see the people with the blonde hair and blue eyes suffering, it pulls on their heartstrings a different way. Why is that? It's because those other people who don't have blonde hair and blue eyes and white skin, they're not human. Their humanity is diminished in their eyes. When they can sort people on a train, at a train station into whites and non-whites, that means the non-whites in their eyes are subhuman. Their lives are expendable. While at the same time, they're saying, look at us, help us, look at what we're going through. Don't let those niggas on the train. Don't get mad at me for telling the truth. Don't get mad at me. This is so ingrained in people, they can't turn it off. They just can't turn it off. So, sanity. Is Putin sane? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I don't think it's going quite the way he wants it to go either. But what Zelensky and the Ukrainian people don't understand is the people who they're calling for help, they don't want to be involved. Just like they knew that there was no terrorists in Iraq that were responsible for 9/11. They didn't want to be involved. They knew that those terrorists came from someplace else. You know, they knew that they weren't, the things that they were saying about Libya was not true. But they sat by and they waited for the Libyan government to be turned over, toppled over, and all the great things that will happen for Libyan people, like free education and free homes and land when they get married, you know, and farms if they want to farm, and the great aqueduct that was built, and you know, just all of the things that Gaddafi's government was doing right. You know, I mean, we got to be real here. Every government is going to do some things right and some things wrong. But in getting rid of Gaddafi, all the right that he did left with him. They don't have any of those things anymore. So the same people who you ask to stand up and do the right thing and put their neck on the line are the people, the nations, who didn't stand up when Iraq was being poisoned, when their water was being poisoned with what do they call it? It's a plutonium, I believe. You know, but anyway, it's not like they use nuclear weapons, but there's like a radioactive poison that happens from all of this shelling anyway, and it creates a lot of birth defects and poison and stuff in the soil and in the water. Nobody said nothing about that. Nobody stood up for that. They just made their money. A lot of them made money off of it, but all of them sat by and watched it happen and bought into the narrative and repeated the narrative even though they knew it was a lie. Well, Putin's narrative is not being repeated, but nobody is really sticking their neck out for the people of Ukraine. You know, I feel sorry for everybody. You know, I really do. I can't help but feel sorry for them. You know, when I see a family huddled together waiting to see if a bomb is going to drop and kill them, kill their babies, I can't help but feel sorry for them. But I feel the same type of sorrow and uselessness back when George Bush Jr. was bombing those poor people in Iraq, and that we were looking into their homes. I don't feel any sorrier because these people have blonde hair and blue eyes, nor do I feel less sorry. Anyway, it's very interesting. Love y'all for free. And, you know, pray for everybody. Not just the people that look like you.